So, you want to kill him? You want to kill him? I want to kill him. What about you, Mr. Wick?
I'm going to kill you.
Oh, for better, of course, yeah. Well, it looks like we have ourselves a genuine conundrum.
I wanted to start by asking you, because the stunt scenes in the film are just absolutely incredible, but how did you manage to perform like that while wearing the fat suit?
It wasn't that bad, to be honest. Everyone says that. There was enough flexibility in the suit for me to be able to do what I needed to do. The martial arts in all of the John Wick films are pretty grounded in a way. You know, there's no like somersault kicks or anything. It's like, you know, spinning back kick might be the extent of the extravagant moves on offer. So it was okay. It was all right. When it went under the rain machines and everything, that presented some problems because the suit would pick up a little bit of the weight. But actually, for most of the sit down talking stuff, I had this cooling suit on underneath that would shoot ice cold water around me to cool me down. But at least when I was in the rain, I didn't have that problem.
You've been involved in some truly death-defying stunts throughout your career, but I was wondering what the most difficult and dangerous one in this film was.
Oh, everybody asks me this. I don't do a lot of stunts, honestly. I do my own fights. You know, I've done a few wire pulls here and there and getting jerked back through a wall or, you know, something like that. You know, I don't like do crazy stunts like jumping off buildings or getting hit by cars. Although on this, as soon as I got there, Chad was like, are you willing to go down the stairs and do the stunt? And I think he was just testing me. But I was like, okay, fine. I'll do it, mate. But can we have it after the fight sequence? Because they wanted to shoot it first. And let me do the fight first because I don't want to get injured for the fight. And then I'll do the stunt. And if I get injured, fine, just send me home. But I think he was testing me. I didn't have to do it in the end. The stunt guy did it.
You post a lot of gym footage to social media. I was wondering how grueling your workout routine for this film was.
I was in a fat suit, so the diet was out the window. I didn't have to worry about that. Look, I'm always training. I'm always staying in shape. I do a lot of martial arts action films. That's my thing, right? So I'm always ready to go. I finish a project, and normally I just have to get rid of the injuries that I may have picked up, and then I'm back into the training. So I'm always ready. Nothing specific. When it comes to martial arts, I'm ready to go.
I was reading that you combine elements of bodybuilding into your routine as well. Is that right?
Well, I used to train like a bodybuilder, you know, because you want to have pack on the muscle to look a certain way for the movies. But to be honest, it doesn't go hand in hand with the martial arts. If you're too heavy and your muscles are stiff, you know, you're not as flexible, you're not as agile. But also you have to look a certain way for the films. So I tend to be a bit lighter if I can be. But if I have to play a certain part that needs more muscle, I'll put it on. You know, it depends on the role. I'm an actor at the end of the day, and the look will depend on what the character is.
So how do you juggle the kind of aesthetic side with the functional performance side of training?
Well, as I say, I tend to drop, you know, not be too muscular in reality in normal life, walking around. I keep myself pretty lean and I feel better at that weight. I feel healthier, quicker, faster, you know, more of a martial artist. But that, you know, became famous for this part I played called Boyka, I got really big for it, as big as I could, because the good guy was Michael Jai White, and he's built like a brick shithouse. So, you know, I wanted to do my bit. But then people knew me as that character, and I had to play that character a few times, and they kind of expected me to have that physique. But, you know, I'm an actor, so it just depends. If I'm going to be that big, I'll lose a bit of speed and agility because of it. So I tend not to like being that big.
What was it like to work with Keanu Reeves? Because your history with martial arts is well documented, as is Keanu's. What was it like to work with him? And does he take his training very much like an athlete as well?
The team around him give him all the support in the world. And when it's, you know, time to do another John Wick film, he's training 6 months out, 9 months out, whether it's the guns, whether it's jiu-jitsu, whether it's, you know, striking or the judo. And he loves the training process. You know, he obviously loves to do it because he's done 4 John Wicks, he's done 4 Matrix. You know, you look back to Point Break and how physical he was in that part. He loves it. He's a true action star, and he loves the process of the training as well. He talks about getting very excited about just getting into the training and going for it. So, you know, you got to respect all that he's done. He's one of the best action stars to ever do it. If you think about it, I know like he's got a strange career because he certainly didn't start out that way, but he's become, you know, one of the best action stars we've ever had.
Absolutely, and he certainly seems to take his training very much as regimented as an athlete does, which is a very interesting.
You have to. They have a like Chad, the director's like, one of the things he said was, if you want like John Wick to be a badass, then you just got to basically train Keanu to be a badass. And if we want him to be able to do this, we just need to be able to train. We just need to train him to be able to do this. So that's it. You're training, and you're going to train until he can do it.
Over the last kind of 10, 15 years, we've seen mixed martial arts grow in the UK as well, with UFC 286 recently in London. Are you much of a fan of the sport?
I am, and Leon Edwards is a mate of mine. When he started training at the UTC in Erdington, it just opened, and I just moved back from London to Birmingham, and I started training there and was training with him. And I remember back then thinking, oh, he's good. He's good. Watch yourself with him. And I'm so proud that Birmingham, someone from so close, has done, you know, he's the world champ now, and he so deserves it. It was not an easy road for him. He wasn't given anything. He had to take it. And yeah, to see specifically in Birmingham, MMA coming up like it is, oh, it's just really exciting. I love it.
He's got his mural on the wall in Erdington, and he's opened a Caribbean restaurant for his mum. It's incredible. And
he's jiu-jitsu instructor. I mean, I've just moved house, to be honest, but he's the jiu-jitsu instructor just down the road from where I lived.
It's absolutely. I mean, to see you know, someone from the UK be a world champion in a sport like the UFC is massive, and to see him actually retain the title is
brilliant. And it was the elevation for the other fight. That's what messed him up, and I was hoping that was the case. I was praying, and it was. Man, I was in America doing the John Wick press, so it was like, oh, if there was ever any fight that I wanted to be in England to watch prime time, it was going to be that one, but I managed to catch it early. I was watching bits in between some interviews, but I'm so happy for him.
It's always at an unsociable hour when you're in the UK. It's always
not that one. It was on normal time because it was UK.
Yeah, that's the great thing.
In America, it was in the afternoon.
Yeah, it's a great thing about having the UFC in the UK. It's at a reasonable hour, not 5 or 6 a.m. But and I guess the kind of worlds of mixed martial arts and Hollywood are becoming ever closer, with Conor McGregor starring alongside Jake Gyllenhaal in Roadhouse, I think it is as well. So there's definitely Hollywood potential in that sport.
There always has been. They've always been putting the UFC fighters in films. I'm looking forward to what Conor McGregor does with that. I hope he says the immortal line, "I used to fuck guys like you in prison." Let's hope so.
I think on that note, Scott, we leave it there. I mean, I couldn't finish it. I couldn't round it off better than you there. Really appreciate you putting the time away to chat to me today, and all the best of everything moving forward.
Thanks, mate. Great to talk to you.
Yeah, Scott. All the best.
Cheers, Alex. Thanks.